Alright guys, on to game 2, or if you're watching the separate video, about Meowscarada's flower trick and how unstoppable it is. We're going to be talking about it today in both the multi-part and also the original video that's by itself. Alright, our match is up against Josh, and flower trick does some very, very nice damage to this team. Not really on the Porygon 2, but I'm looking at the Azumarill and the Ursaluna particularly. I also see the Hatterene having the Trick Room shenanigans, and I'm not having any of that. It takes him to the last minute to decide what he would like to bring into this battle, as we are going to face Josh in our second round of this video series for the Global 2025 Masters Edition Championships. Alright, so we lead Oranguru and Annihilate. My thought process here was basically to double up on Hatterene, but also possibly Annihilate attacking Kingambit, and maybe Oranguru making me attack again and double attacking into Kingambit or Hatterene and knocking it out before it has the opportunity to Trick Room. That is a huge, huge deal. I don't believe I decide to Terrastallize immediately, because I do know if this thing goes for Trick Room, I have never seen one of the more offensive Trick Room sweepers. I mean, Reuniclus is a thing, but guys, Hatterene is a whole nother thing. This thing was made for Trick Room. It has really, really low base speed, really, really high special attack, really good spread damage. I mean, it just works phenomenally, especially alongside a DD. However, his actual Terrastallization is Kingambit, which he decides to turn into Ghost type, which is a really good play, predicting me to just go straight away for a fighting type attack. However, I do not do that. I go for a Rage Fist onto the Hatterene, as a Koto Cleave actually cleaves all the way through my Oranguru in one shot, and I thought Oranguru might actually live that. And now, Deja Vu, here comes the Psychic into the Annihilate. We do live it on very abysmally low HP, and abysmally low it is at 29. That Psychic did way, way, way too much damage. However, we're going to bring in Meowscarada here. We could copycat the Psychic. There would be kind of no point to that. Copycat is good, although I feel like it's better in singles where Protect isn't as common in Wide Guard. The moves that just take that priority, that out-prioritize your Copycat and make you use Protect or Wide Guard. I'm going to go ahead and Protect, as this Hatterene also decides to Protect. I want to make sure Annihilate lives either the Sucker Punch and or the Psychic, as I go for a Flower Trick with Protean and turn myself into grass. However, the Hatterene did decide to Protect instead, but we are already into that grass typing. And that's going to be really, really important in a couple of turns here. I decide to swap out into Tyranitar to get the Sandstream going, but also I don't know what other Pokemon he has in the back. I do know Kingambit is a thing that I have to watch out for, as Annihilate is worn down significantly. The Rage Fist will not work out for me. I do have the knockoff into the Kingambit, which is really good, as the Sucker Punch into the oncoming Tyranitar does nothing. Luckily, Hatterene is at enough HP for the Flower Trick to do some magic and knock this thing out, so no Trick Room shenanigans today, and that is very, very nice, as that is not something that we wanted to deal with. That being said, we're going to see what his next Pokemon decides to be. It decides to be a Azumarill. I can easily Protect with Tyranitar and attack directly into a Azumarill, or I could also Helping Hand if there's like some chance that it lives on abysmally low HP. He'd probably just go for the Aqua Jet here. I highly doubt he would just go for the Play Rough, as he would want damage, as he knows the Flower Trick would easily one-shot him. That being said, he swaps out into the Dragonite, and this works out perfectly because the Flower Trick will now take the Dragonite out of multi-scale, which means our triple Axle will be able to get through here. Knock off into the Kingambit does bring it really, really low. The black glasses are knocked off as the Iron Head comes through. That's why the Koto Cleave killed me, because he had the black glasses. That makes sense. We live in Iron Head down to really low HP, as the Kingambit is buffeted by the Sandstorm, as Meowscarada is now in a position to do what Meowscarada does best, perform magic tricks. And this magic trick is making this Dragonite completely disappear with a triple Axle. As now we're deciding we're going to go for the triple Axle, and we decide what we want to go into here. As the Sucker Punch does come through with the Tyranitar, I think Protect would have been the right play here, as Meowscarada probably could have also brought this thing down from the range I was at, but that triple Axle indeed does make that Dragonite disappear. It is no longer a problem, as now we know Azumarill is the last Pokemon on the opposition's side. I'm not too worried about anything King Gambit can throw at me, as King Gambit has been worn down pretty significantly, as now all I have to do is go for a Protect on the Annihilate, seeing the Aqua Jet kill from the Azumarill, and Flower Trick will easily be able to knock it out. And then of course King Gambit does not outspeed Meowscarada naturally, and that's where we're at, as now we are of the Grass type. So we don't take super effective damage from anything that King Gambit has. However, Meowscarada is not one of the bulkier Pokemon around, so it's still going to take a significant amount of damage from, like, the Iron Head. I go ahead and Protect into that spot, Flower Trick the Azumarill, it goes down in one shot with that critical hit, as we want to see what the King Gambit decides to go for here. Probably just the Sucker Punch, just to take out the Annihilate, as Annihilate's going to go down to 2 more hits of Sandstorm. And here we go. We finish things up with good old Meowscarada and Flower Trick. Thank you so much, Josh, for the game. Thank you guys for watching and all of the support. And I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Take care. See you later. Power on. Power off.